Have you ever wondered why major industrialized countries have produced a lot of carbon dioxide emissions, despite how serious the negotiation for an environmental agreement? The reason is completely eliminating carbon emissions through mitigation methods is not always possible. That's where carbon offsetting comes in. The way that allows individuals and corporations to purchase carbon credits on various environmental projects that to offset their own carbon emissions activities and help to indirectly balance back to global climate. Let's have a look at carbon offset. Carbon offset is a credit that person or organization can buy to decrease its carbon footprint. When the number of carbon offset credits obtained is equal to an individual or organization's carbon footprint, that person or organization is carbon neutral. Currently, the one carbon credit fee is approximately around $3 to $60 for carbon offset per ton, and is expected to increase over the next decade. Carbon offsetting enables us to balance out emissions we have created by funding an environmental or technological initiative that saves or prevents an equivalent amount of carbon. The projects are usually based in developing countries and most commonly are designed to reduce future emissions. And the money from carbon credits will invest in various carbon offsetting projects, which can be divided into 5 project groups: renewable energy and efficiency, natural carbon solutions, industrial carbon solutions, waste management, and recycling and reuse. Let me introduce the renewable energy carbon offset projects that generating clean energy through wind and solar. China is the world's largest CO2 emitter and has more coal-fired power plants than anywhere else. So you may be surprised to learn that the country has been investing heavily in renewable energy. In the province of Gansu, for instance, one major project saw the installation of 134 new wind turbines, generating about 431,000 megawatt-hours of electricity per year, enough to power 55,481 average American homes. It's a part of Gansu Changma Wind Power Project, which reduced emissions by 443,868 tons CO2 in 2017. Roughly, the amount you get from burning almost 500 million barrels of coal. Currently, has more than 135,000 turbines on and offshore, generating more than 235 gigawatts of electricity per year. Next video is the example of generate clean energy through solar. Semeco is ranked 168 in the Human Development Index, and over 43% of the population do not have access to electricity. Around 80% of Senegal energy demand continues to be met by fossil fuels. The Boko Senegal Solar Project is the first ever solar photovoltaic project in Senegal and one of the largest in West Africa. This 20 megawatt grid connected solar power farm provides 160,000 people with renewable energy and avoids the emission of 27,000 tons of CO2 per year. 150 jobs were created during the construction phase, and currently 25 permanent employees work on its operation and maintenance. 40% of jobs are reserved for local communities, and priority is given to women. 100% of revenue from carbon credits goes directly to local communities. This income is being used to fund investment in healthcare, agriculture, and education. To date, 2 schools have been constructed and 5 classrooms are now powered with solar energy. The example of natural carbon solution offset projects. Spanning 14 million acres, the Great Bear Rainforest Carbon Project in British Columbia, Canada, is considered a global ecological treasure and as a coastal temperate rainforest, one of the rarest ecosystems on Earth. It is home to ancient cedars and towering spruce trees, which serve as important habitat for cougars, wolves, grizzly bears, and the iconic Kermit bear, who is a white black bear only found in this region. making it conversation crucial. These animals distribute the benefit across the forest, helping to fertilize the forest trees, providing nitrogen to plants to grow. The offsetting project reduces emissions through what's called improved forest management, saving tracts one earmarked for timber harvesting or logging by converting them into protected forests. And money from the sale of carbon offsets goes through the communities creates long-term economic opportunities in areas with very high unemployment. After you listen to information on meaning and projects, do you really think that carbon offset can help to combat climate change, or is it just greenwashing? Carbon offset is a term that many people still confuse that after funding a carbon offset project, the amount of carbon in the atmosphere can actually decrease, although in reality it may not be. Some people said that use of carbon offset is tend to be linked to the greenwashing strategy for the company or industry by trying to avoid ways to reduce carbon and greenhouse gas emissions and paying to various carbon offsetting projects instead in order to use to convince people that an organization products, goals, and policies are environmentally friendly. So if we really want to create a carbon neutral society, we need to understand that carbon offset is not the ultimate solution. Because of sustainable carbon offset, we have to start with the organization commit to all measures and efforts to reduce long-term carbon and greenhouse gas emissions. In my opinion, I think carbon offset has some value and just only one of many ways to solve the global climate crisis. But as long as carbon emissions continues, payment for purchasing carbon credits to support carbon offsetting project alone may not be enough. We must not rely on them solely. It may also be used as a greenwashing strategy for companies. Thus, carbon offset must be used in conjunction with reducing, eliminating and sequestering carbon and greenhouse gases released into atmosphere, using renewable and clean energy sources, including the most important thing is a commitment to both the individual and organization to create carbon neutral society in the future.